Racism equals fear. Racism is that thing which is often adopted from one's family or friends because it's easier to take views from them in your community and accept them as part of what is true, part of reality at its ultimate, than to think for yourself, than to realize that there is some experiences with other groups of people that are no less valuable and would be enlightening and that you just simply don't have. The racism exists all over the world, and racism. The funny thing is, it doesn't. Race itself doesn't exist. We're not even as different as different breeds of dog. Yet racist people think that we're even more different than that. That we literally have blood that's so different that other races are lesser, are subhuman even. And really, it's just the fear that one is the same as everyone else, that we are all the same and that we just disagree. The fear that because we disagree and that we're all the same, that our own beliefs don't have the same superior value as other people's beliefs. And we as human beings, a lot of the time, if we don't fight it, we prove ourselves to be fearful of our stance, whether it's ideological, political, religious. We prove ourselves to fear the fact that we could be wrong. And in truth, most of the time we are wrong because we're human beings. We're fallible. We don't have the truth 100% or even 100% of the time. And in all likelihood, we're wrong about most of the things that we think. If people in past centuries have shown us anything, it's that they were wrong about a lot of things, and I'm sure we're wrong about even more than we know, a lot more than we know, because time always tells, progress always tells, and our descendants far into the future will think us barbarians and cavemen. And racism is one of those things that has persisted for a long time. Nationalistic racism is fairly new, 1900s, 1800s. Kind of state-sponsored racism in a way is more new, but state-sponsored racism did exist and has existed for a long time. It's just that nationalistic racism is fairly new, and organizations like the Aryan Brotherhood and neo-Nazi groups, things like that, are of course based off of Hitler's doctrine. And what I found is that they just simply don't know a lot about history or genetics or humanity or bone structures, muscles. They don't know a lot about what is the reality for the human body, the human being, the human existence, and humans in general, because they're fed this propaganda from their higher-ups that say, okay, they're different from us in all these ways, but they're not. Nobody is different from us. And as a white male, I say this proudly, that no, we're not any better or worse than anyone else. Now, our ancestors, white male ancestors, have actually done more harm than any other group, I guess you could say, to other people in the world. But, as descendants, it's not necessarily our fault, but I do feel a certain level of responsibility to believe a more compassionate set of beliefs that are, well, based on more facts than Aryan Nation, that's for sure. To believe better because my ancestors were so ignorant. And I hope that other people out there, I hope that you are more compassionate than your ancestors were, because there's a lot of hate in the past. And racism, it's not going to go away anytime soon. It's not the common cold, which has a certain time period in which it's going to be gone and it won't kill us, because racism could very well kill us. The human future and destiny on Earth still hasn't been, decided, or we haven't gotten to a point to where we know we're going to survive. So let's be compassionate. It's the only way to stop the bigotry of every single group in the world turning every group against one another, into violent battles, into violent rhetoric, and into violent futures. So racism is ridiculous, and racism is fear. And if we conquer that, the future of humanity looks a whole lot brighter. Thank you for watching. Please shoot me a like if you liked it.